Hello and welcome to another tutorial video. Welcome to this channel. Today we're going to be looking at part 2 of Unit 14 through the Royal Conservatory of Music Level 9 Harmony course. Today we're going to be speaking on a couple of details related to structural analysis and phrase structure. So if I were to play a melody for you, it's a very short segment from a Mozart sonatina. We would call that a phrase, of course, where we have an opening musical sentence called an antecedent, and then we also have a second musical sentence called a consequent. Those are technical words for two parts of a musical phrase. The first part of the phrase, as you could hear, has an unfinished musical idea, and the second part of the phrase has a finished musical idea. For example, when I'm playing the piece, we're in the key of C major. The melody note finishes on D, which is the second note of the scale. The next musical idea finishes on C. So you can hear how the first musical sentence is an unfinished idea, finishing on the second scale degree and also on the dominant chord. Whereas the last part of the second phrase is finishing on the tonic. Let me play with the left hand as well. So you can hear how there's a very nice musical idea here, where there's an unfinished musical sentence which leads in to the next musical part of the phrase. Next, the consequent, which then finishes with the cadence at the end, which is a authentic cadence 5-1. Now, the interesting thing that we'll be speaking on today is the structural idea of a parallel period. You could probably hear how the first part of the phrase is the same at the beginning of each part of the music. Now, we call that a parallel period because the first part of both musical sentences is the same, but then, of course, the music changes at the end of both musical sentences. Now, a contrasting period is where we have two musical ideas that are very different. And what I'm going to do now is share my screen so you can see this more clearly. We are going to be looking at another sonatina by Mozart, but I'll play the musical sentence with the right hand first, and also you can follow along. So you can hear how there's still a question and answer, but also the musical idea is in the key of A major, and the ending of the first musical sentence finishes on the second note of the scale, which is B. Then we continue along with the second part. And you can hear how the rhythm is very different between the two musical sentences. It's a very nice little tune, isn't it? So the interesting thing here is that the musical ideas are different, but at the same time, there still is a sense of closure at the end of the second or the consequent phrase, because even though the first part of each musical sentence is slightly different, it feels like the phrasing finishes at a confirmed authentic cadence by the end of the musical material. So something that's very interesting and important within this tutorial is to outline how when looking at a piece of music, sometimes we might not have access to our instrument, but we want to think in our head, does the music look the same between the first part of a phrase and the first part of the next phrase? And if so, it's likely a parallel period. As well, we want to see if the music is different. Is it a contrasting period? So those elements really help to outline the specific phrases within the structural sections of a piece of music. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time for another tutorial, and please stay tuned for more material that's coming soon. Take care. Please like and subscribe and have some fun as you continue your work. Bye for now.